Hey there, welcome in. So this is Heather with Heather's Healing, and I wanted to bring through a message for the 1111 portal. So this is a message from your guides and guardians, and also from Metatron. Um, so I pulled these cards ahead of time just to kind of see where we were going. But what struck me immediately is the energies of the 1111 portal are leading us into the energies of the new year. And I'm pretty sure the 2025 is a 9 year, right? Yes, it's a 9. So these energies that are coming in, the messages coming through on November 11th, 2024, are leading us into the energies of this upcoming year. So I find that really interesting. And we'll dive into that more when we get closer to the new year. But I found that really interesting. Um, Now, of course, this message is for anyone at any time. It doesn't have to be on the 1111 portal. Uh, this is this is much bigger than just one day. But I found this really interesting. So the cards that we pulled here are your eternal spirit. It's card number 43. It says higher self and sacred intuition, bringing in the violet ray. I believe that the color, or the number 9 color in the color mirrors, is purple. I could be wrong on that, but that's kind of what I'm remembering. The next card we have is the healing heart. So we have the energy of gold and yellow coming through. The card says love, acceptance, and romance. Um, what I find really interesting about this yellow color, that this really stood out to me because, I mean, yellow, it's the energy of the sun. It is the I am. It is accepting, like the card says, acceptance, but it's fully accepting who you are and becoming your authentic self. The other thing interesting about this yellow color is it can anyway, it can tap into your anxiety and fears. It can tap into childhood wounds. So I feel like that is coming up, of course, for us to see it, look at it, heal it, move through it, rather than keeping it buried, so that we can fully embrace our true self. So that energy is coming in really strong, and I feel like this feels like the energy that we'll be working on a lot in this upcoming year. It almost feels like parts of us that we haven't looked at, or parts of us that we continue to maybe stumble over or try to bury, will be coming up to be looked at, healed, and released in this upcoming year. That's really interesting here. And you can also see this in the collective right now. So many people's wounds are are opening up, and it's becoming really hard for people to keep their mask on. It's becoming really difficult for people to maintain um, the status quo, I guess you could say, or maintain that illusion of who they thought they were. That's going to become very hard to do, and we're seeing that in the collective now. It's really hard for people to maintain that illusion. So we're really being asked to step into who we really are, and you can't do that if you have a lot of wounds that you're trying to keep buried, because that hides us. The other card that came up is card number 27. It's animal totems, and it says animal energy empowers. And what I was feeling from this is a reminder to live as close to the land as possible, to be very tuned in to nature, because so much information comes through nature. Um, just being able to observe and perceive the energies around you through animals, through even just connecting with the wind and feeling the energy that and the messages that are coming through with the wind. I mean, there's so much that there's so much information coming from these higher realms that we miss because we're not connected to, we're not grounded. So a strong message here of being grounded, being really rooted in. I feel like it's going to become really hard to, well, it's going to be really hard to find peace if you're not rooted in. It's going to become really hard to find that peaceful center if we're not grounded. But you get clarity here, you get truth here, when you're grounded into that place, when you are, connecting with nature, when you are tuning out of the collective misery and connecting into who you truly are, your true self, that authentic self. It takes a lot for people to shake you when you're in that place. It takes a lot to really get you rattled, because you know that you are a powerful being. You know that you are divine. You know that you're connected to the divine. It becomes really hard to kind of throw you off. It's really interesting. I'm going to pull some tarot cards too to go along with each of these cards. But just a really strong message here to get very grounded, because that's where you're going to find your truth. And being very grounded also helps you connect into the higher realms and make sense of the information that's coming through. Not only make sense of it, but also integrate it and bring it into your everyday awareness. It's one thing to channel messages. You can get really good information, but if you're not grounded, you're not going to know how to integrate that. You're not going to know how to apply it to your life. So a really strong message here about being grounded, in order to really tap into those higher realms and tap into your higher self, to get that information and then to know how to apply that to your everyday life. The other thing that I feel like, and this keeps coming up again and again, as I just see so much hate and mean-spiritedness in spiritual circles, which I find really interesting. People that have channels, I'm mostly talking about like on YouTube, people that have channels, doing tarot cards or readings, and they've been very committed to bringing through divine messages, are now in such a hateful place. And some of the things, the energy that they are that they're giving off, it's so disconnected. And it's because they've allowed themselves to be thrown off their, well, what I'm hearing is they're not tapped into their true self. They're not tapped into, you're not going to get so rocked and thrown off course by life or life events if you are truly standing in your power. So that's been really interesting to watch. The other thing too, I don't know how, okay, I feel like a lot of people put their faith in outside sources. They put their faith in the government. They put their faith in whatever it is. They don't put their faith in God or in a higher power, a divine energy. And they become really despondent and angry when those systems fail. And those systems will always fail. Please, put your faith in source, in the universe, in a higher power. You won't be disappointed. Things might not go the way that you want them to, but you're not going to be let down. And I feel like part of asking us to get really grounded is also to to realize that the structures on this planet, the institutions on this planet are temporary. They're not coming from a divine place often, and they're going to fail. So, put your faith in something solid, put your faith into, source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. That will help you. You'll have something to lean on and something to prop you up when, things go sideways. So I just feel like that's an important message to get out. And also with the yellow, I mean, yellow's wonderful. Gold is wonderful. Yellow is the I am. It's your solar plexus. It is standing firmly in your power and not giving your power away. But what I'm really getting from this yellow is the anxiety and fears that are going to be coming up. And they're coming up so that you can look at it. So please don't hide from those, those shadowy parts of you. They're coming up for a reason. And it's going to be coming up for all of us. So, I mean, that's good. And also your anxieties and fears, they're showing you something about you. That's a part of you. It's not something to run from. It's something to look at and ask the questions. What is this showing me? There's a gift here for me. What is it? It's asking you to take a deeper look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull. I mean, I could go on and on about this, but I don't want this to be a super long video. Oh, hey, there's Maggie. Speaking of nature and animals. Hey, Mags, what you doing? What you doing? Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm trying to decide. Should we do 3 cards for each one? Let's do that. Okay, so your eternal spirit, higher self, sacred intuition. What do you have to say about this, Metatron? Oh, hey, Mags. Do you want to come up on my lap? I love you, sweet girl. Can I let you out in a minute? Do you want to come up here? Do you want to come up on my lap? Okay, hold on, you guys. Come here, sister. You want to come up here? Do you want to see what I'm doing? I don't really think you can climb around. I mean, I guess you can. Okay, Maggie. Yeah, pause. Cat. Okay, so Maggie. We'll just let Maggie explore for a second. Okay, so 3 cards for intuition, the higher self. What would you like to say about that, Metatron? Maggie, what would you like to say? Do you have a message for us? She's like, I'm just going to rub my head on everything. So we have the 6 of Swords, the 3 of Wands. Oh my gosh. Okay, Maggie. I love you, Missy, but hello. Oh my gosh, she's being so lovey, you guys. And the 3 of Cups. Oh, okay, Mags. Come here, sweet girl. Okay, let me just give Maggie some loves here. You can just fast forward it if this is bothering you. All right, Maggie. Let me finish this, okay? And then I'll give you some love. All right. Love you, sister. Okay. So your eternal spirit. So we have the 6 of Swords. So tapping into this eternal spirit, you're not abandoning yourself. You're moving. It's a way to help you navigate the choppy waters of life. It's a way to, well, I keep hearing it's a way to not abandon yourself. It's like the energy of our soul. We take us wherever we go in this life or in any other lives. We are always us, different bodies, looking different ways, but our soul is always there with us. So tapping into your eternal spirit is a way to help navigate the choppy waters. And also, I love this, the Three of Wands. It's not just navigating the choppy waters, but it's spirit giving you advice, guidance, and inspiration on how to move forward. You know, future planning, the next best step to take. Being led by your higher self, being led from that pure energy that is your soul. You know, being led by that rather than being led and guided by a very distorted world. And then we have the Three of Cups. Our soul, our eternal spirit, connecting us with other like-minded people, helping us to connect in a very heart-centered way, living more from your heart chakra space. I know a lot of people talk about that, but it's literally connecting from that space. And it feels like it's almost like your higher heart chakra, the heart chakra. It's almost like it's another way to tap into spirit, another maybe portal. You know, we talk about the crown chakra, we talk about the third eye, the soul star chakra. Information does come in through those higher chakras from spirit, from source. But there's also a knowingness that we can connect into through the heart chakras, the higher heart and the heart. And I'm almost wondering if this is another way of communicating with nature, with the elementals here. So focus on the heart chakra. This might be just something fun to play around with, and see if you can speak through your heart chakra, like using the energies in that part of your body to connect with nature and receive information that way. I think this will be actually really kind of fun. I'm really good at I hear spirit, I hear nature, I hear them. But it will be interesting to see if I can intuit literally through like the heart chakra. Interesting. So, you know, connecting with your authentic self, connecting with your soul is going to really help you navigate the choppy waters, help you figure out where you need to be, where is the best place for you, what is the next best step, future planning, and then also connecting in deeper, more meaningful ways. So I think that's a really beautiful message. So let's pull some cards. What did I do with the cards? Oh, here they are. So 3 cards for the healing heart, the love, acceptance, and romance. And this really feels more like acceptance of yourself, acceptance of the path that you've been on, whether, no matter how you judge it, look at it, think of it, really just having a lot of love and grace for yourself. Okay, so 3 cards for, yeah, and Metatron is saying definitely not judging the path that you've been on, not judging where you've been. You know, it's the difficult things in life, it's the challenges in life that really show us who we are, that open doors to the hidden parts of ourselves. That's where the real riches are. That's where we find those treasures, is in life's challenges. So don't judge yourself or be overly harsh on yourself for how you have experienced life or the choices that you've made. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You'll have different experiences based on your choices, of course, but don't judge it. Okay, so 3 cards for the healing hearts. 6 of Wands. So we've had the Six of Swords, we have the Six of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Six of Wands here. So seeing your journey in a different light is what I'm hearing. So seeing it as victorious, seeing yourself as victorious, regardless of whether however you perceive your journey. There is victory here, no matter the choices that you've made. There are lessons and riches along the way. There are things that we learn from all of those experiences, the good and bad. So rather than judging things as good and bad, see everything as a victory, see everything as information that you can integrate to help you become a more authentic person. And it's also a way to help you connect with other people as well, by sharing your experience, by sharing your perspective, by sharing what you have gleamed. That's the word that I'm getting, gleamed out of your situation. It's our experiences that are, it's kind of like the unique sprinkles on our journey. And the way we choose to perceive them. It's also a nice message here just to help us remember that we are supported. We have support. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I love this card here. So in moving through your wounds and moving through challenges, not ignoring them, not running from them, not using, addictions to cover them up, but really looking at things that are coming up for you, especially from now into this next year, really looking at those, working through those will help you find greater ease and flow in your everyday life. It will help you become, maybe even connect you to, well, you're going to have a deeper understanding of yourself. And I'm wondering if for some of us that's going to lead us to a different way of making money, but definitely a different way of living, inviting in more ease and flow, inviting in more understanding. And I'm also just getting a visual of cutting through the haze and the fog of delusion, and just all of the craziness that you can really get lost in if you are connected into the collective distortion is what I'm hearing, that collective distorted. There's just so much. I just feel like this is cutting through that. But definitely possibilities of new ways of making money here. I also love the pentacles are usually shown as like gold coins, but again, it's tapping into that energy of yellow, of happiness, of joy. But again, bringing childhood memories coming up, connecting into that childlike part of you, that inner child, that part of you that might feel like throwing a tantrum some days, but it's also, there's a real innocence there too that's really interesting, especially, if you have a kid, you're around kids, they'll let you know if things are not right for them. They don't try to fake it. They just can't. There's no like faking it here. If a child is miserable, if they don't feel good, if they're sad, if they're angry, they're going to express it and they're going to let you know. So I also feel like this is a message here to pay attention to the parts of you that are screaming for change, that are screaming for something different, and not to, pacify that. Take a look at that. That's also part of, you know, the wounds that could be coming up for healing. And then we have the Knight of Swords, a beautiful message of deeper clarity, knowing and understanding of who you are, what makes you tick, what is important, And again, that knife of just cutting through delusion, you know, getting to the truth of who you are and what is your message. You know, this is the I am. This is fully knowing who you are, and what is your truth, what is your soul's truth. I'm getting really clear about that. And I feel like these are all messages that will be revealed and unraveled more in the new year as well. I feel like this 1111 portal is just kind of giving us a taste of what is coming in this upcoming year. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the animal totem. So they're getting really grounded, connecting in with the energy of red, the red ray, getting very grounded. So 3 cards for animal totems, please. Some really beautiful messages here. Simplicity is the other thing that I'm hearing. If you are in nature, you're paying attention to nature, you're paying attention to animals, it's very simple. You know, it's very simple. They don't overcomplicate things. Okay, so 3 cards for animal totems, please. Oh, I think the cards are done being shuffled here. Okay. So 3 cards for animal totems. Whew. I don't know if those are 3 cards, but those definitely popped out. So we have the Queen of Wands. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the King of Cups. And we have the 9 of Swords. Very, very interesting. So Queen of Wands, I feel like this is what the energy that we're being asked to embrace. And I love the Queen of Wands is definitely, I mean, fire energy, but you know, think of that. It's the red, it's the orange, it's the yellow energy. So your sacral, your root, your solar plexus, this is your life force. This is being really connected to that divine essence. This is the energy that is rejuvenating, that rejuvenates our cells, that rejuvenates every part of us. This is also the energy of enjoying your life and not trying to escape your life. It's ambition and confidence. It's also knowing that you're okay. It's being able to assure yourself that you are fine, you are okay. There's a knowing here that no one can shake or rattle out of you. You know who you are, and you are firmly planted on this earth. Nothing can knock you down. It's more than just self-confidence. It is that knowing. I feel like it's one thing to have faith in yourself or in something, but then there's a knowing. And once you get to that knowing part, that's way more powerful than faith. Interesting. We have the 9 of Swords coming in. This is a card about anxiety and worry. I feel like simplifying our lives is really going to make things so much easier. Connecting into nature, like, you know, what I was saying, you know, if you're watching nature, it's very simple. It's very cut and dry. There's not any illusions there, you know? So really interesting. We have the King of Cups connecting into leading from our heart is what I'm hearing with this. So, you know, the kings and queens are definitely leaders. They're masters of their element. Cups is mastering water. You're mastering your emotions, but it's more than that. It's being divinely connected, and going back to that message of receiving divine information, and but also knowing how to integrate that into your everyday life. How do you apply that divine wisdom? It's really knowing and understanding that. It's also emotional stability. It's being very generous. It is being also open and able to receive as well. More so with the queens than with the kings, and it's really hard what Metatron is saying right now. It's really hard to receive if you don't accept yourself. You're very closed off. You're closed off to others, and it closes you off to your guides and guardians. And we have the Three of Swords. So this talks about heartbreak. So what I'm really feeling from these cards, and with the connecting to the earth, living closer to the land, is really simplifying things. It's also nourishing our bodies in a better way, nourishing our minds, nourishing our emotional well-being with nature. It's also a way to release anxiety and heal heartbreak and sadness too. Is connecting with nature, going outside, feeling the sun, feeling the wind, hearing nature, really connecting into that more primal part of us. And I love that we have the Queen of Wands and we have the King of Wands. It's kind of like the best of it's the best of the best. It's you leading yourself, leading and living from the heart, really. So yeah, really, really beautiful messages, really powerful messages too. I'm definitely feeling this tied into the energies that are coming in with this new year as well. It feels like a lot of completion, really finalizing some of the trauma and wounds, maybe places where we've been going around in a circle for a while. That's coming to a completion. Lots of endings, new chapters starting. It feels really big, but beautiful messages here. I hope this is helpful. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. All right, you guys, take care.